So guys, today we're going to talk a little bit about what does it mean to be yourself. Before, we had an episode speaking specifically about authenticity. And one of the things that is very, very, very extremely, let me stress it, extremely important for anyone to be authentic and to be on their journey towards holistic and total wellness would be obviously knowing who you are. And I think it's Beanie Man had that song, Who Am I? Yes, not the girls from Sugar. I don't want that response today. What I want you to actually do is think about who are you? When someone asks you that question, who are you? That you have a proper response. One that really encapsulates everything about who you are. When persons go for interviews, for instance, and one of the questions that is usually asked by an HR representative, what are you going to bring to the table? What unique thing about yourself are you going to present to this organization that is going to make things much better? Ideally, that's a question asking that individual to tell me more about who you are. So it means you have to know what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, your passions, your fears. You have to know your desires, your dreams. You have to think about those limitations and things that you tolerate, because all in all, it plays a great part in explaining or helping persons to understand exactly what type of individual you are. And in doing so, persons will then determine, is this person going to be an asset or a liability? All right? So ask yourself, can you really explain to anyone or tell someone definitively the type of person you are when you're asked, who are you? Who am I? Simple as that. So today, I want to give you 5 basic steps in identifying or being able to know who you are so that you can tell it to someone else. Number 1, get to know your personality. Get to know your personality, which is when we use a collection of all of the opinions of significant people in our lives. So your family, your friends, people that you hold very significant and very close to you, all of their opinions really matter in helping you understand your own personality. Then you have to dig deep within your own database of experiences and decipher from all of that information, what type of person are you when your back is against the wall? You have to think about who you are privately versus publicly. What are the things you tolerate? What are the things you are comfortable with and things that make you uncomfortable? It's important that you are aware of your characteristic traits, okay? Your integrity. Who you are in private should be in synergy with who you are in public. The second thing that you should do, get to know your core values. What are your core values? What's your belief system? When it speaks in terms of your moral principles, I would suggest that you sit down and actually think of 8 core values that would define the individual that you are. Whether it is honesty, justice, whatever. 8 core values, because these are what would be your guiding force that will help you in your communication, in how you present yourself. Very, very important. The trouble is, however, not many of us enjoy spending time alone. So even sitting like this in a beautiful space like this by yourself, a lot of persons shy away from it because, maybe what would people think? Perhaps that you're wondering that why is she just by herself? But sometimes you have to shut away the world, shut out everything else, and just basically focus on yourself. You have to self-examine. You have to spend time being with you so that you learn more about who you are. The third thing, get to know your body. Yes. So we look in the mirror. Some persons are not very comfortable with what they see physically. So that's the first thing. You have to be comfortable in your own skin. You have to know your body. You have to know the marks, the scars. Every single thing that is on you is there for a reason, and it's a representation of something else. So even when you have bruises and scars, you understand that it tells a story. It tells you of something that you have experienced, and that in itself is part of your own experience that you can share. And that sharing is going to help someone else know that if they are going through something similar, they can overcome it, because you're a living testimony of that. Also, when we think of knowing your body, being comfortable with who you are, knowing your breaths, how often do we actually sit quietly and take deep breaths and just simply, oh, let me do that again. That felt so good. Where you actually take that moment to pause, breathe, feel that breath, and you feel all the different movements in your body, your bowel, you feel the hair on your skin, you feel every single thing, and you, for that moment, you become one with yourself. It creates balance. You think about your own flexibility. You think about those areas in your body physically that you need to work on. So that brings into mind that we need to have a regular exercise routine. We need to stretch. We need to eat right. We need to sleep. All of these things to keep this physical body functioning and operating well, so that we can be around for a longer time to really accomplish all that we have to accomplish here on the earth. Okay? Get to know your dreams. What are those dreams that you have? We have some fleeting thoughts. Oh, I dream of being, they're always a big one, a millionaire. But what about some of the smaller dreams that we have? That I dream of probably impacting someone's life today in a simple way, that I want to be kind. I dream of being a better person. And oftentimes when I tell persons, when you're thinking about who you are, think of your eulogy. Sounds morbid, I know. But think of your eulogy, and you go all the way to the fact that I am now dead, and this is someone standing in front of my friends and family, and even sometimes strangers, because strangers do go to your funeral, and they're hearing now a recap of your life, who you are, who persons thought you were. Would you be happy with what they have to say? If you have to write your eulogy now, would you be very happy in terms of the person you are? And if it is, you have been living your life in such a way that right now you're not very happy and not very pleased, there's always room for improvement. It's never too late. You can start today to rewrite that script. Even if you have lived 45 years, 45 chapters are gone. Let's say you have 10 more chapters to go. Then let it be that those 10 remaining chapters are going to be written excellently, because now you're going to make sure that you put the best version of yourself forward. And the last one, the last tip, get to know your likes and dislikes. You must know what you like. If you don't know what you like, if you don't know what you dislike, you're always going to be in a position where people keep handing things to you that you do not appreciate. All right? The simplest things. When we think of what I like, don't like, we always think of food. Right away, I don't like certain things. I don't like soups. I like pilau. I like this. Okay, fine. But what about the greater things in life? What are some of the things that you totally dislike? Things that you just simply sometimes tolerate. These are the things that you have to be aware of, because you can position yourself to lead a happier life if you're aware of these things. One of the things you're mindful of is that we teach people how to treat us based on what we accept. And you only accept things that, brings comfort. If you are uncertain of what gives you comfort and happiness, then anything will be thrown at you. The bottom line is, in knowing yourself, you understand the standards that you have, you understand your aspirations, you understand your virtues, you understand all of these good things. And by that, you understand that you as an individual, you are a brand in itself. So you work every single day to put the best representation of your brand out there, and you work every day to develop yourself and be better. Simple as that. So again, I ask you, who are you? Are you happy with the response? Who are you? Who am I? Yes, I'm Giselle Miller, but I am many layers. And even as you peel away these layers, you're going to see a dynamic force, a dynamic representation of strength, weaknesses, joys, sadness, ups and downs. But nonetheless, it is there to make me that unique individual. And the same applies to you. Have a great one. Bye-bye.